Hello again, friends. Welcome if you are indeed watching. It says somebody is, so if you are, please say hi. Welcome to another Prefect 99 live stream. Back where we left off, which is at Porterville. A quaint little spot. 6,000 foot of runway. From a little town. What more do you need? Some people seem to have aeroplanes in the States, so let's go make our requests.
Welcome to Hot Start Flight Support. How can we help you today?
Jenny, I am going to take a bit of time setting up today, so I think we will rest. Zulu, Archer. I'll tell you what, let's bring that back 15 minutes just in case we need some fuel. We're going to have the crew, 7 packs. Doing that for a while. We're not going to have a GPU because I don't think this airport would have one. Could be wrong. It's almost actually tempted to give them a call up and say, hey, have you got a ground power unit for a Challenger 650? Oh yeah. Find out in real time. We don't need any ISO, so jet, have gas, even an option. Those cater for everything
Captain.
else.
I'll get that organized for you right away.
Great, thanks very much. Let's head out to the where we left it. Ishi, hi. Thanks for joining me. See you again, I hope you're well. Well, here we are. Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? That doesn't look good up close. Need a few more HD textures. Explain. So, all the pins are blowing in the breeze, which is a little bit of a worry actually, because we're programmed for. We planned for runway 12, and it looks like that's going to give us a bit of a tailwind because we're facing in that direction. Anyway, the Ortho's working. Airplane doesn't look broken. Frame rate is in the 40s. Try not to get the door on your head. Go bango. Head in. Open up the blinds. See the detailed decals. Level of attention to detail in this yet. For those of you who have not seen intros and everything else, it is. No, you can't. It is a wonderful aeroplane. Sit in these seats. And I'm sure everyone's very comfortable. Comfortable in the soft and squishies up front. Oh, Dishy, well, that's very kind. I don't think you really miss much. It's just one sort of semi-hopeless guy just wandering around the skies and picking some random places to go to. Lots of nice little regional airports in the States, inspiring me to want to do some flying in the States. Who knows how realistic that may be. So, check the circuit breakers. Obviously, it's a lot easier to do in real life. You just stand here and do those, and then down in the footwells. Sim. So, circuit breakers checked. This unchecked itself once, which is why I check it. Overhead switches. Let's check that they're all off. Apart from the no smoking, which I leave on. You sure? And yeah, you know what? That's an interesting question. If it's your own aeroplane and you smoke in it, you know the reason why they have ashtrays is because you still need someone to put it out if somebody does do it. It's your own aeroplane or it's a private flight. Can you do it? answers on a postcard. I don't know. I wouldn't do it just out of principle because it's bad for your O2 sats. So, oh, well done, Volanta. Up. Going. Because SimBrief spits it out with a K in front of it, which is odd. And we're going to do a little bit of extra work to figure out if we can get it. So Volanta is running. Connect to VATSIM. I anticipate there being absolutely nobody here. Nobody within miles. And the overhead looks sensible to bring everything out of the AC/DC. Now, I appreciate. I just would think that won't be round. Oh, Dishy, yes. You know what? That is a really good point. I do remember seeing that. And, excuse me, I guess you can't do that in pre-flight. I don't know, maybe we'll have a look. I'm not going to have a look at it today, but because it takes me long enough to get the darn thing set up. Yeah, that's a really good point. Failing because hey, what's the point in having realism if you can't do it? I'd really like to be able to do that pre-flight, so it's not a rush or anything. So nose wheel steering's off, landing gear down, which is hardware. Spoilers up, flaps up, and they match what we saw outside, which looked up. Landing gear down here, LDG. Manual release, it's stowed. ADG, it's stowed. Lights comes on. Logbook docs can't do. Got my US chart supplement, which is actually quite handy. It's a bit like the en route supplements that I'm familiar with. Yeah, useful bit of kit. And oh, you know, I was going to pop it in the charts so that I could show you, but I'm an idiot, so I haven't. Maybe I can do that in the background. Yeah, you know what? No, I can't because I only printed 2 pages. I don't want to put the whole PDF in there because. So logbook docs, yeah, safety equipment can't check, external check. So with that in mind, battery master can come on. Of course, we've got 5 minutes. Talking for 5 minutes. Check down here. The cautions look normal, nothing abnormal. There's the DC electrics. We need 22 volts. C3 exam in Finland. Well, we're not. There's the 25 volts. I do apologise. I know you see that. Obviously, I've got it on screens in front of me, so I can. So you just get that there. But I'm used to the eye height now, so sorry. Anyway, we've got 22 volts. Firex. Nope. Nope. There we go. That's the right key. Firex left, right, squib 1 and 2, 4 greens. APU 1 and 2 green.
Jet pipe overheat.
1, 2, 3.
Jet pipe
Red, 3
overheat.
green.
Jet
4
pipe
warnings.
overheat.
And of course the audio. Fail. 5 cautions. So we are going to need to run APU. What I'm going to do is, the fuel's still increasing. I'm going to let that settle down for a minute or 2 anyway. So have a look. I know the fuel panel set up.
All right, Captain. Fuel truck is hooked up. Just let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to go tanks full today?
Has anyone ever said tanks full to him? I don't think so. So 3090 BOFP from last night. I do write these things down, I am that said. 3170 is I had on shutdown. So shall we assume that? Is that safe? Let's go through the fuel plan. Let's talk you through it. Our trip is 144 contingency, 197 5 minutes. That's LAX half an hour away, 881. Final reserve 45 minutes. 54 minimum takeoff 3856. Just under 2 hours of fuel. Got an extra £1,000. Just 28 minutes. I wanted 20 minutes for 2 go-arounds if we need it, plus any AP burn. And then there's taxi fuel 225, which gives a 5081, round up to 5100. And let's take the 3170 I think we have. Maybe it is 3140, that hasn't changed for a while, has it? Let's go with that. So, subtraction wise, 5100. Oh no, it's going up. Let's call it 70. 1930. Dividing that by 6.772. Uh, 6.772 gives us 284.99. So asking for 290.
Alright, I'm gonna go start up the pump.
He's very patient. Right, have I heard the Easter egg? Close the door. Yes. Oh, I didn't know it did it on the receipt. I knew it did it if you called him up and you bang on the door. And you know what? I mean, it's just realistic, isn't it? And especially with the receipt. Although I suppose actually in real life, you probably just poke off completely. So, the other thing is if you don't open these up, I think it tells you. Quick shut off test. Comes and tells you that it has knocked off. So, I don't know how long it's going to take to do them gallons. Kind of tempted just to wait a couple of minutes before starting the APU so I know exactly how much we've got. What is interesting is I wonder if the failures of Model 4 equipment overheat if you battery on for 5 minutes with AC cooling. Maybe we shouldn't. But yeah, he does get impatient, which is brilliant. So, APU is off. Check the DC. Are going to pop the nav lights on. APU power fuel. And start up. APU is. I'll use my watch for the time. 1813. So APU on, available, gen off, we should get a caution, have all that, gen on, comes to life, start the timer.
Refueling is complete, Captain. Do you need anything else?
No, I think that's it. Thanks very much.
Okay, just one quick signature on here, and I'll be on my way.
Now, remember I was saying it would be good if this was modelled? You know what? I think it may actually be. Dishy, have a look on SkyVector if you're interested. There's a little thing where you can get the prices, and I wonder if this is where it gets all the same sources that gets it from.
Here's a copy for your records. Have a
Shortchanged
nice day.
us a bit there as well, didn't it? So, you have shut off, it's still increasing, we'll expect a little bit more, but that may be the most that we end up with. Of course, that lag being modelled. Just sure I cancel that. There was talk, I think, of the passengers banging on the door, because other esteemed colleagues have driven off without them. So, still increasing, 5090, we had a little bit more than that, so I expect a little bit more. To call it that, we probably burnt 10 in the time of starting out, etc. So,
Flight compartment checklist. AC and DC electrics.
3 kVAs, buses are on apart from the utils, 26 volts, TRUs are on, all the buses still are green and the batteries are charging.
Nav lights, logo light.
Those on already.
Cockpit lights.
Your guy driving away. So, turned up. Hello, Glenn. Yeah, if you have a look at that dish, what was it, 462? It's only because I'm sure it was 5 something yesterday, so I wonder if it does actually get it from real online sources, which is just another level of detail that's quite cool, isn't it?
Lamp test.
So, lamp test, you know we can't really do them. Lit up like a Christmas tree.
Duct monitor.
Test. Or switch.
Bleed air duct.
On or 5
Bleed
or
air duct.
and 1 green. A. E.
FMS database status.
So. No. Status. Cycle that 24th of March. It is not. Today is, say on the clock, 19th. AirX next week.
FMS flight plan uplink. ATIS.
Let's see if we can do that. So, I wonder if we can even get there. Interesting. We are going to 3.5. Well, so I just wanted to do that. So we'll accept it. And there you go, so I can't put it in there and recall it, but it will accept it in the other. So, hold on. If we try and recall, if it does load that up, it does. It accept it. So LAX is our actual. San Bernardino would probably be practical. I may modify this and may go direct to the VOR that is out of service via GPS, of course. So that might be worth failing. I guess you can't VORs on, so we're just not going to tune it. VOR to get there. RNAV to get there, which was E. rest of the route. Victor 197 PMD, Victor 12, HELDE, and then what I'm going to do is put a custom waypoint in, so that is correct. Execute that, flight plan, rest of the checks. Yeah, why not? Let's get it out of the way, and then I'll think we're going to do
Anti-skid.
that one. Test OK.
Nose door.
So the nose door we are clear.
Hydraulic 3A pump.
So hydraulics 15 degrees, 73, 68, 67. Somebody online was saying that they were having issues. The hydraulics running low.
Brake pressure.
So 3000 psi we're looking for, 3000 got.
Parking brake.
Set green.
Nose door.
That's the nose door closed, check. So, head outside. We'll walk around, brace your ears because the APU is running. That chalk out. Look alright. Covers off. Can't hear the wonderful sound of the hydraulics. Oh, yes you can. Of course they weren't needed going down. Oxygen looks a bit of a funny colour there, doesn't it? And top it up. Of course you do need to do the walk around before. I think you'd want that rope around the other way. You fire up the APU because you lost hot air otherwise. Without a wide berth. I think some aircraft do exit up by the tail. That quiet side. Maybe. Anyway, nose shock is in, everything moved. So the nose door is closed.
Hydraulic panel and pumps.
So on all of them. Green. 520 still. Yeah. I'd like to think it was. So green on.
Electric panel.
So jet 1 on.
AC DC utility switch.
On, light out.
Start ignition panel.
Out, pull off.
Fuel panel.
B, they all come on. One goes off, the others stay on. There we go. A little bit of a roundabout way. In caution.
APU LCV. 10th stage isolation valve.
On.
Packs.
.10-minute stints. We started up and we 2, so we'll be using about 10 every 10th of an hour, so 100 an hour.
Air conditioning panel.
So normal max on ram air is guarded, temps into cabin.
Pressurization panel.
So we have 0 different pressure. And the altitude should be approximately airfield elevation, which it is 443, so that looks man out centered, man rate in fully anti-clockwise. On in manual 1 to manual gas out for play 11. press out, extinguished, covered, and are going. Airport. That is 675 of sea level. Is about there. The arrival pressure. We are going to double check the weather. It really doesn't matter that much for this. Close. There's about there. We'll do. Reselect. Pip.
Lead air panel.
So all off, all up.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel switch.
That is off, out.
Cal anti-ice switches.
In. No caution. Out.
Anti-ice panel.
Switch off. Left and right heats off. Cowl out, off. Shield test to high. Sorry, but yeah, to high and then push test. 1, 2. Okay. Back to. There we go. Off. Should. Ice detection. Overheat.
Wing overheat. Wing overheat. Wing
Emergency
overheat.
lights.
So they are currently off. And I have a caution. Pop them on. Have an info. Go and check them. No caution.
Passenger signs. ELT.
Armed.
Glare shield panel.
E.
Crew and passenger oxygen.
Well, there's mine. 18 bottle. Look over here.
DCU warning panel.
Not extinguished, guarded.
CDR.
Go. Checked. And light came on.
Audio panels.
Checked, set. And my side. Com 1. Oh, there I am typing. See if we can get clearance.
SPS system.
So, stall, effect, both. He does not give us clearance. Find odd. But I am going to have it tuned 13555 available. Angela Center. I'm pretty sure he should. We are in the Los Angeles, but should be on the boundary. Whatever, I'm not going to argue. So they are both on. M2 head up. Control down. So SPS left and right. Will fail. AB goes all the way. Version comes back. Elevator fall down. Control column. Stop. What else?
Integrated standby instrument.
So we'll get the win in a moment, but that, as you can see there, looks sensible. Come back up. They both match.
Clock.
Flight time's already at 0.
EFS, ICAS.
Checked.
Main landing gear bay overheat.
Gear bay overheat.
On oral 1.
Gear bay overheat.
TOS warning switches.
Oh, I didn't do it. No. No, this one. Checked. Pause warnings, they're all out. Test. Weird, some test switches are different. I'd like to think you'd keep them similar. You'd like to think all test buttons,
Wind shear.
pushes,
Wind shear.
whatever,
Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
ergonomically strikes me as a So that's been checked, the radar has come back on. Back off, the weather radar doesn't work.
Pitch and roll disconnects.
Both stowed,
Ground spoilers.
tow.
Thrust reversers.
So, emergency stows out. Armed.
Thrust levers.
1, pull, set off, 2, cut off,
Engine speed switches.
on,
Engine vibration check.
goes up to 3, 5, vibration is at 8.
Oral warning. Smoke detector.
Smoke.
1, 2, red, 1.
Smoke.
Trims. Mach trim.
So, 1, 2, tab 2 in on, 2, 1 in on, stab trim, out,
Yacht ampers.
on, no caution,
Reversionary inhibit switches.
no, out, extinguished, first reset normal.
IRS.
Have a look at it, shall we? Notice I don't put in our current position because I do it. I know it is good practice to do it. They're all in nav and 36018 is the aerodrome reference point. West 11.8. Close enough.
CPDLC.
Can't do, and nobody's going to give us clearance anyway. A mismatch of stuff that works. Yes, it is indeed. Right.
TCAS.
TCAS system test OK.
ATIS and clearance.
So we are going to get the weather, so let me just set the displays. Should do this for departure, right. So whether I do want to get to do a landing performance check before we go. So data link, weather, terminal, and so let's try KL. That's a pickle. I have to use my phone. So let's put our alternate, and I think I said 7. That's the closest big place. Hopefully we would have Mobile signal. So, whatever I normally KOs. Globe Air do it. Global Air, not Globe Air. Checkwex, I'll do. So, 1856 is variable. Interesting. Has it displayed. So, our departure weather. 1856 to 19 is obviously the date. Maybe not obviously. That. It's an automatic. So we'll give ourselves a 4 knot tailwind. 10 miles. You at 12,000 feet. Temperature of 17. That's exactly 7. Row 2. No TAF. About visibility. Fine. So doing 02 443. Yep, that matches up. With the elevation there, roughly similar. Is so there's a couple of modifications. First is that we are going to go to BOR even service. Interesting. Does the airport display? I just assumed it would. Oh no, why would the airport be there? So let's have a look at the plan on the other side. And how do I start? There's an interesting question. Does it? There it is. Doesn't actually put the airport in.
Hello, Captain. It's Jenny from Hot Start Flight Support. Your passengers have arrived. Shall I have them brought to the plane? Understood. Just call me when you're ready to receive them. Anything else?
Nope, that's
Always
it.
a pleasure. Take care.
So, can we pop in custom weight? It's got an RNAV. I find it interesting that we wouldn't buy it. So, not database. Is it just because it's not listed? It's a 6,000 foot runway, so performance we shouldn't have to worry, but I did want to do that before we left. In. So there's no runway waypoint. That's probably a custom waypoint. Aha. So it doesn't work as an airport. It does work like that. Interesting. Well, I'll get us close at least, and what I really want to do this page then. So 3.5 for VFR arrival, just to get us in the right place. 250 at 4. That lake, I think I can do something custom. Yes, it's exactly what I want. So that's pretty much in the middle of the lake. I'm going to fly over that and then do onto 2.6. That is in there. Yeah, the runway is in there. So we're going to plan 2.6. That's the preferred runway, unless the weather says otherwise. Quite interesting. Lots of S turns. And 5. Literally just eyeballing it. So we're going to fly downwind and then do a base leg. It might be a little tight actually. So oval. Get in there. So like an idiot, I've got the airport overflying itself. Check that out. I needed that waypoint to be able to do that anyway, so that's fine. But we'll be flying visually after that. That was stupid. Let's redo that because it's 3.3. No, didn't want it. Oh, okay. So the guidance will be a little bit squiff. Oh well, we're visual, so see how we get on. It should be 3. And I'm too dense to figure out how to swap that out. So, for the departure, take runway 12. As we said, it's 17 degrees. No flex. So, cruise-wise, it's fine. Right. And think that our alternate cruise is 18. And our zero fuel 29250. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat. Yes, that is how you do a custom waypoint. That I can do. There's not a lot I can do, but that is how I do it. And yeah, I just literally just sort of eyeballed it off the chart for the VFR arrival. But it works with anything else. So we'll do those a little bit later. Our final reserve is 1354, 100. And I think we're going to be off at 15. Should be able to get away with it now doing. Taxi fuel, are we going to use £100? Possibly, it's not spectacularly long. VNAV, I'm going to try and use VNAV this time. So, it's going to be 178. Thousand. Not going to use decimal because it's a short flight today. and that as well. Please make a change. I'll have to look. I thought I would be able to change flight path on final. I'm sure you can. I'm just too dense. So that's VNAV set up. That saves us a bit of effort. Go back to the update. While I then see if I can get hold of our arrival weather, which I'm scribbling down. So Lima 35, does it have their own website? Let's use that, shall we? That's still pending. Oh, maybe I should save them. That would save me some effort. Because of course those are the ones that I seem to use more. Done a little bit of tweaking. The airport, here we go. So, current weather from the airport itself. I proper GA this. So, I have Zulu 220 at 9. Not going to gusts 27. Be interesting. 7 miles. Sky condition clear. Greater than 12,000. Temperature is 53.6 Fahrenheit. Put that in. So that's temperature of 12. 16. 9. Interesting. So they're done. Perf. So, departure weather. You said variable 4. There's the runway. So, let's say tail 4. Yes. 17. E002. And our current gross weight. No, that's our takeoff weight. So we've got ample, even if we're heavier than that. That is suitable. There is an obstacle departure. Max takeoff's 6. We're under that. Going out to the right, so it isn't a factor. Done the V speeds, so what we really want to do, let's go to the approach. Fine. Oh, okay. Well, could have done this first. So, this does store it. So, 12 in, 220, significant speed to bleed off. Adding 5, and then 20 knots gust. It is there's the rumble length. $34.2. So that's our current weight. This will be safer, and even with the factors, we've got that. But you see, that's exactly why I wanted to check it, because that could get a little bit witchy. So on make sure we get in before we left. So if we can arrive, and we'll be lighter and slower, hopefully, how high the V speed is, then we're good to go. Otherwise, we've got some head scratching to do in flight to make sure we can arrive. So, days. Send those back through. Changed. Sent. So, ATIS clearance can't do weather as we can.
FMS flight plan, wind update, perf.
Done the edits to the flight plan that I said I was going to do.
Takeoff data.
See me do for departure and arrival. And to be honest, that's what I do in a light aircraft anyway. My method of worry-free is to take the max weight, take the weather, and if you can get in with the factors at max weight, you make less, so you don't have to worry.
Avionics and charts.
They are done now. I did read somewhere you should press toga. We do, so
Flight instruments.
I'm going to do it, but if it says don't do it until you're lined up. Yeah, so it's just what I do in reality, because at the end of the day, if you can, bearing in mind landing is the easier of the two, you can take off if you always want to check landing, but takeoff you generally need more runway than landing. So if you know what, on the current day, I will always overestimate pressure altitude, say. So if you, not all aeroplanes have charts, if you work out the max weight, and if you work out the max temperature, let's say you plan at 30 degrees, you plan at pressure altitude 1,000 or 2,000 feet, and that gives you a safe margin with your 3 factors. Like on the landing there, that's a 1.43 factor, which is within 60%. If you do that on the ground, then you know that on that day, that pressure altitude, which is always going to exceed what you're doing, if you get an answer that is, say, 3,000 feet, then you know that you're not going to be anywhere near that, and you can safely not have to do performance for every single one if you're overestimating and you're the factors. That's more justifiable, and certainly something that I do because it is easy to get complacent. If I'm going somewhere that's a little bit shorter, it just gives you a bracket, so you know that I'm going to, if I've got 5,000 foot runway, I'm going to be safe. You know that that's your comfort limit. If you then set anything lower, if you're smaller than that, then you know you've got to do it. And it is worth doing performance for landing. For the day, go. Obviously, the bigger jets, it gets a lot more variable, but you can do that with GA work. But don't make me start saying things about disclaimers. You should always do your performance, but it's just a logical progression that I use. If I know that on a 30-degree day at 2,000 foot pressure altitude, max all up weight, I need 3,000 feet. Then if I've got a 4,000 foot runway, I know that I'm going to be comfortable. So FMS, yes, because we can't go on. So done. Takeoff, flight directors come alive. Compass is sensible. Gonna arm LNAV. What am I gonna select? I think I'm just gonna go straight to 10. That will give us a warning for the lights, etc. No nav aids to use. TTT. Actually tuned. I said I wasn't going. Let's detune that. Broken. So straight ahead, safe height, safe speed, 400, 5 knots faster than VT, so 155 minute back retraction. right turn direct to the via nav. So heading initially, and then when we're ready for that turn, select rather than we'll go direct to rather than intercept. GSTAS ISA sat by. Is that the same VOR? Oh, it's because we're going there, isn't it? The aeroplane that's doing that. Or is it? Is it? So V1, 114, rotate 150, bug 200 restrictions. It's class Echo airspace. VFR don't need a clearance, but IFR do, which is why we get it from center. Takeoff flight direct on my side, 10,000 set. VNAV to bug, get, select armed, 0 altimeter set. NYTO 97. I think that's it.
Departure briefing.
I've discussed it is straight ahead and worry, clear day as well. Well, fair weather cumulus.
Emergency procedures.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Pins, covers, chocks.
Done.
Cabin lights, water heaters, master seat.
Done.
Flight
2.
compartment checklist complete. Engine start checklist next.
It bothers me. Cabin's 22 down. So, I think any AC running.
Hot start flight support. Jenny speaking. How can we help?
Please bring the passengers, Jenny.
Understood. They'll be there in a couple of minutes.
Good, kick 'em out.
Anything else?
No thanks. Get the biscuits up.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
So out of Oakland. Yeah, no, I could use the HUD. I'm so used to not using it, not available. We didn't. We would have. I'd have to check the US regs actually. Later, otherwise. I don't know if you can reduce using a HUD the departure minimum, but until that weather cleared up, it's illegal for us to leave because we remember we didn't have the RVRs. I don't know if using a HUD would make a difference in the ARSA land. Cat 2 minima is lower, so you'd like to think you'd be able to, but so yeah, I suppose it would be flying. But like I say, I'm not used to it, so depend. Go for it. No other reason. So we're just waiting for our packs. We're happy that we've got performance, but we'll be a little bit close if that wind dies down, although we will end up lighter, so should be better. Done all the trek. I just didn't check that the trims were set for takeoff, so I did miss that. So the obstacle departure from here is climbing right turn, direct TTE, if it's departing radial 146, clockwise to radial 30, climb on course, other aircraft climb. VOR holding pattern, it's right turns, bound to cross the VOR, 8,600, 061, 5 at 7,000, should make that with the mighty performance jet has. So minimum 3856, we're going to have loads.
Hello, Captain. How are you today?
Fine, thanks.
That's great to hear. Well, we're all set back there, so we can get going anytime.
Brilliant. Let's get the door shut. Of course, with an extra crew member taking care of that for us.
Engine start checklist. Doors. Closed. Parking brake and pressure. Checked and set. Fuel quantity and balance.
So we do not have, we're getting close to 400. No, about 300. Call that before we go.
Beacon.
So we would call up ready for start. What I do is put the transponder on. It's just CTAF, so really is down to ground crew.
On. Fuel boost pumps. On. Ignition.
Used Bravo yesterday, didn't we?
Armed. Engine 2 start.
So this really is up to the crew, ground crew. Clear. Thumbs up. So it's 802 490 fuel. Start engine 2. Start engine number 2. M1's turning, oil pressure's rising. Percent less than 120, M1's turning. On, flow increases, T increases, pressure. It's up in the hundreds, it's green, it's increasing slightly.
Fuel system.
There's the engine settling down. It's full. Left and right fuel pump. Left low pressure. There it is. Thumbs up. Start engine number 1.
Engine 1 start.
N2 is turning. Oil pressure is increasing 20% less than 120. N1's turning. On. Flow increases. T increases. Pressure is increasing. And of course you guys can't see anything, so I should really do that, shouldn't I?
Engine start checklist complete. After start checklist, next.
So I would like shock out at this point.
After start checklist. Generator 1 and 2.
Are available. 2 off caution. Wait for that thumbs up.
On, checked AC and DC.
Okay.
Ignition.
AVA both sides. TI. Green. Charging.
Disarmed. Packs. On. 14th stage.
Those in.
Cowl anti-ice. On, check 45 seconds. Flight controls.
Full forward. Full aft. Left. Right. Left rudder. Right rudder.
Ground spoilers.
So they are in auto. Disarm. Deploy. Redeploy. Auto. They stow.
Flight spoilers.
All the way up to half. Might go to half. Stowed. Stowed.
Cowl anti-ice.
Cal anti-ice green advisory. Switch lights are on.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice. Test on. Fuel balance.
So we're about 300 heavy on. So that'll give us a caution in a minute, which will sort itself out.
Trims.
Oh look, there we go. Right. 3.
No steer.
Chock is out.
Armed. APR.
Got 1. Gated, 1 okay. Enunciated, okay.
ADG unit.
Hold it, light goes out.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
Wait for that 2 minutes. Yeah, KL35. Green.
Cal anti-ice.
Turn it off, can't we?
Off. Wing anti-ice. Norm. 14-stage isolation valve.
In, light on, out, light off.
Wing anti-ice.
Is green, anti-ice on. Left heat, right heat, illuminated, yellow N2.
Checked. Off.
Standby.
ATS. N1 TO. ATC TCAS. After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist next. Taxi checklist. Taxi lights. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Brakes and steering.
Porterville traffic, Prefect 99, taxiing, hold runway 12 traffic. So, clear left, we get a thumbs up from the dispatcher. Brakes off, the airplane rolls, brakes work. Full left and right available, which you do on the tiller. I have an understanding of all the supplements. No, don't. I haven't read it yet. It is an option. It's certainly not available on the 605. It's something we can have a look in the books.
Reverse thrust.
So we've checked the brakes. First thrust and straight line. So left, wide, right, dude.
If taxiing the de-ice, pause checklist here until a paper de-ice checklist is complete.
So that's what I was waiting for. A bit of a lag, but right side should eat up with the APU. Not de-icing.
Flaps.
Down to the end.
20. Altimeters. Set and cross-checked. Radar weather. On. Takeoff briefing.
So terrain is on. As we discussed, it's straight ahead, right turn, direct to the VOR, which airplane auto-tuned. It's a bit of a disappointment in the taxi. In the taxi line there, look. Somebody needs to quality control my scenery work. Anyway, we did the takeoff.
Taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist next.
So yeah, I assume that the supplemental ground is exactly what it says. It's additional anti-icing on the ground. Stop the aeroplane from icing back up. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting how it came about. Something we can read about. I managed to get all the manuals before it disappeared. So I've got the normal checklist rather than just the sim checklist. Whether I'll print that off or not, I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to be a couple of minutes early. Good. See how much faff can take. Get the speed under control. Brakes are very effective, as I'm sure you've seen me attest to more than one occasion. Got the VATSIM radar. I don't want to be in plan mode. Yes. Let's have a look. Map. There's a bit of traffic about. And that's in radar. I'm showing up. Which is a little bit weird. Have I managed to not file my flight plan again? No, got it, it's in there. So we'll call it 2013 departure.
Before takeoff checklist. Passenger signs. Advised on. Anti-collision light. On. Pros. On. Windshield heat. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Continuous ignition. On. ATC TCAS. TARA. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel. Checked. CAS. Takeoff config OK.
I will check that just before we go.
Landing, pulse, recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist complete.
So
After
in the
takeoff
book
checklist,
it says strobes on entering the runway and landing lights are cleared. Not sure, I can't get it to do the test, but all I do is I hit the reset button when it does that. It might have done it before. Double check that you have deployed the stage. It's the leader that activates the not deployed it. PA briefing, yes, we have done. I'm not pressing that anymore. I don't want it to crash. Porterville traffic, prefect 99 lining up, taking off runway 12, Porterville traffic. So, there we go. Takeoff config is okay. Won't follow the line, we will actually look at. I'm not sure there are. So it's green lights in reality, threshold lights, edge light. Oh, there might be. But those lights apply even if the runway has no lighting, which is a little bit of a bug. Always check the final approach. I know we called up, but in reality, always do. Actually, 14. Go. Hang on time. I think there's meant to be a little arc. I can never get the end one. Spot on. I thought it did it. So magically. Anyway, airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Oh. Well, take. Positive rate, let's not forget the gear this time. Right direct. Gear up. There's 400, safe height, safe speed. Eyeball it to try and smooth it out.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps. 0. Thrust reversers. Off. Ignition. Off. Pressurization. Checked. Pax transition. Completed. N1. Climb set. APU generator. Off. APU. Shut down. Passenger sides.
We'll leave one for the moment.
CAS.
Check TPR on, clear.
After takeoff checklist complete.
There we go, climbing like an absolute rocket. I know we can smooth it out, but hey, we might as well get performance out of it. Yes, I have seen that. I think it needs lure, which I've got off, so makes me sad. But yeah, it really does need it, doesn't it? Because I've certainly forgotten. Anyway, LNAV, AEPs on, flight level change, set, cruise that was 3-3, wasn't it? Must be the sort of an airway. Then if we go perf 20. Dim. Come on, I get speed up. So I thought I could do speed in the climb. We'll pass 10. It's off. Belts off. No other checks to do. Cabin's pressurizing. Quickly on our way. Have planned speed. How do I enable the speed? Or is it just on descent? Anyway, that's no shame about that cut there. Scenery does. Even with that, it looks a lot better. So we've arguably joined Victor 165. We should have planned that. Sketchy, and I should have changed because I mentioned wasting that performance there. A little bit anti-ice because we're skimmed through these wonderfully volumetric clouds. Standard set. Okay. That one. Resume. Speed. Descent. Come on. Okay. No. Okay. It's actually sent a good effective 99 passing flight level 200. Climbing flight level 330 direct echo Bakersfield. Oh, I'm on Unicom. Idiot. I switched nav instead of com. Essentially sent a good 99 Challenger 650 passing flight level 220, climbing flight level 330 direct Bakersfield. Hey firm. 7114, prefect 99.
6 Tango Mike, clear to contact 5 miles north of Avenal, flight level 350. Or Tango Mike. 62541, wind 0506, runway 26 left, clear land.
26 left, clear to land, FedEx 2541.
197, cross B 98,000, clear to RDAV, RP, runway 26 left, approach.
Cross B 8000, clear RDAV 26 left, approach, American 197.
Left 2220. Southwest 2220 to change code 27175. Let's get 117, contact SoCal Route 124.5.
124.5, and let's go 117, make it notice, mate.
Southwest 2220.
Southwest 2220, we're back with you, we just had a power outage.
Okay, squawk 7175.
175, Southwest 2220.
Hello.
1367, Boston Santa Maria, right to an Alpha, taxi to parking.
As much volume as I can get out. That's pretty good.
Prefect 99, via contact level 260, climb maintain flight 330.
Climb maintain flight level 330, prefect 99. Sorry, I missed that.
Mirror 712, wind 0506, runway 26 left, land.
No inspiration at all, just literally licking a finger and deciding where to go that way. No operator, no nothing, just if I had my own jet, stuck some friends in the back, they might want to go skiing, maybe I want to go find some cool places. You know, we saw this on the way out and I decided we'll go there next. Nothing,
Looking for
actually nothing more.
flight following to Catalina.
So this could get interesting. The MSA is 12.7.
Can I get that one more time? 7260.
7260, 200, Golf Farwell.
Does look pretty good, pretty realistic, and frames have only dropped down to 30, which we can live with. It's pretty consistent 30. And the only issue we may have is that top descent and top climb rate on top of each other. Shall we?
And then number 298, Golf Bravo, radar contact. What's your aircraft type and destination?
Aircraft type is the Docker TBM 930, and we're headed to Catalina.
Really no time at all.
And I see I'm at about 3,500, is that what you're going for?
Yeah, we're at 3,000, but my estimator might be incorrect, so 3,500 probably is right.
Golf Bravo, radar, thanks, radar contact 3000.
So yeah, I just fancied a tour of these.
2541, we're at Alpha 6, holding short, runway 8 left, Vegas. Clear up.
2541, on to Vegas, cross runway 26 right, turn right, Bravo, left Charlie, go to parking, okay.
Cross 26 right, right Bravo, taxi to parking, Vegas, 2541.
Feeling a little bit sluggish. Got long before we're going to need to descend. see why you want to get as much of this done on the ground as you possibly can. Checked.
American 197,
You're going to be busy.
Calling over the numbers, runway 26 left, clear to land, wind 0406. Clear land 26.
You've just had a switch over. So I'm just waiting for our capture and then I'll look it up. There we go. It's plane 0.
Premier 712, welcome to Vegas. Exit right on the next high speed wind able. Are you parking on the west side of the airport or airline gates?
3 minutes to top of the
We're
sun.
to the east side by the FedEx cargo. Premier 712, cross runway 26 right at Alpha 5. Give way
And
to
we think we're going to get there in 3.70.
Alright, 26 right Alpha 5, give way to the FedEx into the Replenishment Bravo 7 Hotel. Thank you.
LAX Center, Spirit Wind 1719 IFR, Los Angeles.
So 32.6.
1719 LA Center, you should have a PDC. Let me know if you don't have it.
I did receive it. Can you resend, please?
Yes, sir.
Translate 3516, ready for taxi, 26 right.
Atlas 3516, LA Center, runway 26 right, taxi via Charlie. Information, Mike is current.
Early information, Mike current, 3516.
Check 99, descent pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 240. Let me know if you have any approach requests for Big Bear and when you have the weather.
Set my discretion, initially flight level 240, will code reflect 99.
Center Challenger 64, Tango Mike, GOD.
Challenger 64, Tango to Mike, roger. Let's see what route you're on here. You should really be on a different route. So Challenger 64, Tango Mike, turn right, heading 190. I'm going to be vectoring you to the OC2 arrival. Let me know when you have that plugged in. Descend at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 290.
Right turn, heading 190, vectors to OC2 and down to 290. Call you back when I have the approach turn. For Tango Mike.
Okay, roger, thanks. And for Tango Mike, the OC2, the transition you're probably going to be taking, let me look really quick. You can expect, just program in the Reberg transition, and I'll probably clear you direct Pacific.
Alright, I'll take a look at it way back.
So path is armed.
238, flight level 350, tilt.
I don't want to resume.
Or 238, LA Center, squawk 7134. 7134, floor 38, 238. 197, welcome to Sin City, right turn, Alpha 5, that high speed, join Alpha 5, cross 26, right.
So we've got 230. 8.
High speed, join Alpha 5,
It's down to 11.
26, right, Bravo to the gate. American 197, thank you so much. Bye. Good night.
But we have gusts 821.
Contact 20 miles to the northwest of Morro Bay VOR, flight level 355. Just verify your altimeter set to standard. It is no. My apologies. No worries.
Oh, we've already started our descent. I didn't hear the beeps. Did you?
64 Tango Mike, we have the arrival programmed and ready by vector.
64 Tango Mike, cleared to the John Wayne Airport via when able direct Pacific, join the OC2 arrival.
Cleared to John Wayne Airport, direct Pacific to join the OC2 arrival into John Wayne, 64 Tango Mike.
So we're going to use up a lot of that runway. And we're going to have to bleed some of that speed off as well. we'll take 140. Slow as we get a little bit closer.
Delta 4 Tango Mike, descend via the OC2 arrival, LA altimeter 3003.
Descend via the OZ2 arrival with weather, 695.
So, 300, that'll do us, that should slow us as well.
Polar 238, I can give you a shorter route to Los Angeles via the Ironman 2 arrival, and I can still give you a runway 25 left off of that runway, or approach can probably do that for you. I know the Derby takes you a little bit further, just let me know what your preference is.
Yeah, we'll go Ironman 2 arrival, 325 left would be good.
Flight 238, roger, you're cleared to Los Angeles Airport via Winnable left turn direct Muppet, join the Ironman 2 arrival.
Polar 238, cleared to Los Angeles, Winnable direct Muppet, and cleared the Ironman 2 arrival for Polar 238.
LA said to Prefect 99 request.
Prefect 99, go ahead.
Request a further descent, and if you're able, we'd like to go direct HELDE to destination, and for a VFR approach runway 26.
Prefect 99, roger, you can expect a visual approach to Big Bear Airport, descend and maintain 14,000.
Expect the visual, descend and maintain 14,000. Prefect 99. Looking for visual.
Good day, LA Center, American 302, with you flight level 300.
So, altimeter 3006.
What was the call sign?
American 302.
302, LA Center, squawk 7346.
7346, American 302.
For 8 Golf, Bravo, contact SoCal approach 124.5 today.
SoCal approach 124.5, have a good one.
I think he's going to mess us up, because what I wanted to do
16, runway 26 right.
do our own thing.
040 at 6.
Takeoff 26 right at 3516.
American 302, radar contact 500 miles southeast of the Parker VOR. Flight level 300. Good afternoon.
Descent checklist.
Flight level
Shoulder
300,
harness.
good afternoon, American 302.
Passenger signs. Pressurization.
What's our landing field elevation? Yep.
Fuel quantity and balance.
What have we got? 18 in both.
FMS landing data charts.
Done. Might be windy on approach.
Approach briefing.
Discussed. Visual.
VNAV transition flight level.
Done.
Descent checklist complete. In range checklist next.
So we are not in change the path, which is rapidly giving us duff information. So let's keep the airplane coming down. Disable VNAV.
Tech 99, clear direct to the Big Bear Airport.
In
Direct
range
Big Bear, Prefect
checklist.
99.
APU.
Direct Big Bear, Prefect
Start.
99.
Altimeters.
I didn't want to do that, I pressed the wrong thing.
Delta 4 Tango Mike, contact SoCal approach 124.5 today.
124.5, thanks, yeah.
So we seem to be off-piste. Saying we're low, but we need better speed, that's interesting. Maybe I should have set 3.3 on a final approach as well. So, airport chart, I think I know what we're doing. It could be horrific. We started the APU far too early. Whoops.
And LA Center, for Polar 238, just confirm we're able to descend on the Ironman arrival.
238, sorry, descend via the Ironman to arrival LA altimeter 3003. Descend on the Ironman to arrival for 25 left for Ironman.
So look at the terrain, this would be fun.
Southwest take 516, 524,000.
Oh,
Good afternoon, Spirit 5.
bit off track.
We'd like to pick up an I-5 clearance going to the lake. Okay, Roger, stand by 1 second and calling in, climbing out of Vegas, sorry.
Reset, cross-check. Avionics.
3516, climbing to 4,500.
Check set, we're doing a visual approach.
3516, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level
External
360.
lights.
CX 3515. Tech 99, the Big Bear Airport, 12 o'clock, 25 miles, report in sight.
Wilco, prefect 99.
Thanks, and the lowest I'm going to be able to get you is 14,000 unless you want me to vector you around.
Negative, sir, it's Civic, have okay here with visual. So the airport is just here, we can't see it over this hill.
Wing 1719 with Mike radio taxi. 1719 LA Center runway 26 right taxi via Golf Charlie. Roger, is it possible to get one on north?
Let's pop the lights on.
Runway 1 under left taxi
I know
via
that's
Delta.
odd, never.
Taxi via Delta for 1, thank you. Los Angeles Center, good afternoon, American 1410 at Las Vegas, requesting clearance to Salt Lake City with Mike. Stand by 1.
So best to get the speed under control nice and early. Although we're at 15, still only 7,000 feet above terrain. And he's not going to be able to give us a further descent. So we'll have to make our own in a moment, watching that hill out to the right. I think from my route study needs something. 8,400 feet. Prefect 99 visual of the field, like to cancel IFR.
Prefect 99, IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR, safe landing.
IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR, Prefect 99, thank you.
Frequency change current, yeah.
So we want to keep going down, and circuit height is 8,000. The path still active. We will switch.
Wing 1719, runway 1 under left, clear.
What is the squawk for VFR? Is it 2,000? It's not 7,000, is it? Whatever, something like that will do. Perf, need thrust limit.
Set. APU packs transition.
And I think we've ended up pretty hot here. That late descent and a bit of a muck around.
APU generator. On. CAS.
So, let's just do a few turns. Enjoy the scenery and my bad flying. Thanks very much, 1200. Yes. I should know that from the good old flight sim days. Right, not fussed about the course reversal, we'll figure that out. We're going down to 8, which is the circuit height. A little slower as well. CAS checked clear.
In range checklist complete. Before landing checklist next.
And I don't want to be no money. So I'm going to keep coming all the way around. That was a bit messy, but I think you can see what I was trying to do. ATC, it's not that they didn't help, but speed as well. Flap down as well. You can see where I want it to be.
2500.
And you wouldn't want to be doing this on a nasty day.
Bank
Pick
angle,
180.
bank angle.
That's the autopilot doing that, not me. There's the airport. Take flap 1. And what are we going to do? 7.6 is downwind. We might be... Oh, we're a little bit high. Might be my bad.
2500.
Air traffic prefect 99 downwind left hand runway 26. Big air traffic. That wasn't that bad, to be honest. I was expecting much worse. So here we are downwind. I'll get the airplane settled down. I'll get a little bit close in. Big gear. Flap. So you see a little bit high energy, a little bit sketchy.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicating. No steer. Arm centered clear.
School here we're meant to miss.
Hard tested. Passenger signs. On. Wing cowl anti-ice. Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers. Armed. Spoilers. Stowed auto. Flaps. Set.
Oh, we
Cab.
managed to bust well through that. There was no way that we were going to make that. We were far too close in. CAS is
Before
checked and
landing
clear.
checklist complete. After landing checklist next.
Yeah, we're not going to make that, are we? I told you we need a little bit of extra fuel, so you see that's pretty unstable. We'll just go around again. Pretty much a circuit height anyway. Their traffic prefect 99 going around. So we'll keep one stage of flap. Circuit height of 8. No need to go too mental. I'm just going to take guidance off because I really want it. Like the aeroplane. Now we've got to thread through here for noise and make too much in the way of trees about. So we'll just take that a little bit. I mean, even at 140 we were struggling there. A little bit low. So let's see if we can't get in a bit of a better position, a little bit further out. That's my bad flying. Genuinely, it's the gusty winds. Do with ATN. Oh, yes, that was the button I had mapped for it. Let me did it. So we'll actually go a little bit further out. Actually quite hard work with the wind.
In range checklist complete. Before landing checklist complete. After landing checklist.
Oh.
Landing before landing checklist complete. In range checklist.
Why can't I do before landing?
Before landing checklist complete. Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicated. No steer. Arm centered clear. Anti-skid.
That's interesting. I think that was the wind. That was getting pretty close to a stall there. Thoroughly not my fault. That's pretty sketchy.
Terrain. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Well, let's just fly that round again, shall we? ATS doesn't help. Well, this has turned into something of a disaster. So let's get the airplane stable again, and we'll head back towards the airfield. You can see it's pretty low, pretty challenging with such a big jet doing such high speeds. I think we may genuinely struggle, so keep the speed up and do a right turn.
2500.
Do a loop way around to the right base. Maybe on a calm day, able. On a calm day, we'd be able to make this. And although the circuit height is posted as 8.3, back up to 8.5. So we're clear of terrain. Right, what's going on with the checklists?
After takeoff checklist. Descent in range checklist. Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever.
So let's see if we can't close down on that. Gosh, some interesting bits of terrain around here. Can we get around the back of this? Maybe. Yeah, it's definitely too strong for the other way. I don't know if we could get through this valley in front of us, but the first attempt, that was definitely the circuit procedure was meant to be. So let's come back to 160 because clearly 140 was not good enough.
Down indicating. No steer. Arm centered clear. Anti-skid.
There is an approach for this. We could arguably do the Cat AB approach.
Wing cowl anti-ice.
VMC.
Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers. Armed. Spoilers. Stowed auto. Flaps.
They're not set yet. So, back to 145.
Set. CAS. Before landing checklist complete. After landing
3 attempts.
checklist
Oh, we got loads of fuel. That's why I packed a load on. There we go. That's looking a bit better, isn't it? The circuit was just a little bit too tight. So, flight director's off. Air traffic, prefect 99, final 26. Air traffic. Difficult to see if we got more reds than whites. You just see the terrain here. Shut up as well. So that's saying we're too low, are we? Well, at least we got something out of it, and the passengers got a good ride. No one died, apart from us. Still. I'm really saying we're too low. Feel it. Because it's a narrow runway. Yes, those gusts are definitely not helping. And though those pappies say they are set correct, they certainly don't feel it.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oof. Oh. Save that. And that was standing on the brakes as well. That was Banks X-plane for the gusty winds. Wow. Yeah, it's a pretty narrow runway, isn't it? That'll be a fun one to watch. Maybe that's why there's no Cat C approaches. It's not the narrowest runway. Go left here. Hopefully for our departure when we go. Yeah, it's windy.
After landing checklist.
Air traffic, prefect 99, runway vacated.
Anti-collision lights. Off. Continuous
Oof,
ignition.
that was hard work.
Off. Windshield heat.
I wouldn't say well done.
On.
It's big enough for the aeroplane.
Off. Wing anti-ice. Off.
55.
Cowl anti-ice.
No anti-ice.
Stowed. Flaps. 0. ATC TCAS. Alt on. Radar mode. Standby. After landing checklist complete. Engine shutdown checklist next.
Well, that's going to be a fun replay to watch. It's just a bit twitchy with the wind as it is, and X-plane as it is. In reality, that would probably be a go-around, but you just feel it a lot better with gusts. I've got a great video in the Warrior of gust, just catching a gust. Anyway, we'll pick one of these green spots, I think. They've definitely had jets in here. I've seen photos of jets on the ramp. I don't pick this one. I'm going to cheat for this. Got it wrong. Certainly helped have a master. Oh well. Seeing as we went around the approach a couple of times. Try that again. And around and go. What did Valanta say? I haven't looked yet. I'll probably enter it in. Good thing nobody's parked here. That's looking. Oh, I still managed to not get it. Okay, that's close enough. Though I think we probably are blocking the taxiway. Whatever, I'll tow it. Brakes set. Oof, that was fun. On blocks at 58 with 2870.
Engine shutdown checklist. Taxi lights. Off. Parking brake. Set. Reverse thrust. Stowed. Generators 1 and 2. Off. Engine 2 shut down. Fuel boost pumps. Off. Fuel
Keep
system.
the left low. Valanta's wisdom said the touchdown. There's a right low.
Engine 1 shut down. Check ITT below 350 degrees Celsius.
Checked.
Anti-ice. Off. 14th stage.
Those out.
Off. Beacon. Off. No steer. Off. ATC TCAS. Standby 0. Parking brake if chocked.
Well, let's pop those chocks in, shall we? Jenny, you
Hot start flight support. Jenny speaking. How can we help?
So, chocks in, brakes off. Please come and get the punters, Jenny.
Of course. I'll have that over with you in a minute or two. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Minus 232 said Valanta, which I think must be pretty smooth. So, parking brake is off.
Passenger signs.
If they're not hurling in the back.
Off. Cabin differential. 0 psi. Engine shutdown checklist complete. Securing checklist next.
Go open the door. Then we'll get out and run for their lives. suppose I probably should check the limitations on runway width. How wide is the runway here? 75, so it is that bit narrow, which contributed to that visual illusion of feeling like too high. Even with that, it really didn't feel like it, and the wind a factor. In fairness, we could go warp. Actually, what did I say that was funny? It was pretty. So it is quite a small airport, but this aeroplane will get in it. I mean, 75 didn't feel particularly terrible. Just needs a bit more attention to keep it on the runway, and that's a little bit of a struggle, even with the rudder pedals.
The airport taxi's here. Thank you, Captain. Great flight as always.
Yeah, well, he must have been
I'll
in a
see you
different
next
aeroplane. Just means you've got to be on the ball, and it's a lot easier to do than in the sim, even with decent rudder pedals. The brakes are individually set. I suppose I could have used the keyboard shortcut for brakes to try and keep that even. There's very little feedback on those. I think we did okay. I think you'll notice in most of my landings, keep on, and then this airplane does, of course, roll quite spectacularly. You saw with the taxiing, gone round in the air, we've gone round on the ground. Oh yeah, well, he sounded happy. Considering they did almost lose their lives. So I think, just looking, I think I was actually too far out the first time, so this is a struggle. I think maybe with a bit of practice, probably do a decent circuit and actually get the aeroplane in. But of course, starting that descent over the school, did try and turn round. Yeah, I was a little bit late turning, and we just didn't have the radius. And don't forget, the wind was not going to help coming from zero, so it was blowing us away. Probably didn't help. All those factors. Normally, it's the crosswind that provides that level of grief. Gusty wind definitely did not help, which I can see on the lantern. I tried to fly the circuit as briefed, struggled, so like I say, without a bit more practice, would it be doable? The big issue was really doing 140 knots, which was what, VREF plus 13, and ending up with gusts and in the stick shaker, which is bad.
Secure and checklist. Emergency lights.
Off.
AC/DC utility switch.
In. Illuminated.
Headsets. Thrust reversers. Chocks.
They're in.
Parking brake.
It's off.
Hydraulic pumps.
We've done the pins, so they can't they?
Nav lights. Logo light.
Logo's off. Now stay on for a moment.
APU generator. APU start stop. Packs.
Be sure they should come off first.
LCV. 10th stage isolation valve.
Out. Off.
APU power fuel. ICAS APU gauge. Battery master. Cockpit refuel panel.
And I always forget. Let's double check. Got left 2800. Expensive flight.
Service lights. Pins and covers. Securing checklist complete.
So, APU gen off. APU off. Everything's off. 810. We reckon we've got fuel wise. Batteries off. So yeah, that was fun. So disconnected. To the replay. There might be a tower viewpoint. Shift 5. I don't. Oh look. So was that our original downwind? There isn't a tower here. This is just from the top of the cafe. So this would have been mums and dads, their kids, watching these lovely aeroplanes come into land, not knowing that this cowboy was about to come and ruin his passengers' lunch. Just goes to show, being in high energy states, lead you into a pickle, but the terrain around here. 8,000 is 1,200 foot circuit. Or 50, 1,500 is comfortable. AGL. 1,500 on the QFE is comfortable. Jet. It wasn't a bad attempt, we didn't make it around that turn. As you can see, there's us busting well through the centre line. And there was definitely no point trying to save that. There we are, appearing around the hills. In fairness, you can see the windsock going all over the place. It sure is. Circuits at standstill is fun. Might do some VFR in this. That wasn't me diving, I think that was just a gust. But hey, that was pretty masterfully done. That was a bit of an epic save if you ask me. Let's watch that again. He had ample runway to play with. It does seem to me that the airplane stops pretty darn quick. I would have expected the last segment to be the slowest. But hey, what do I know? Well, that was something different in a particularly challenging airport, and more challenging was the weather. You know what? Maybe without those gusty winds, because there was a significant crosswind to it. Yeah, maybe done a better job. Definitely a better spot for the Phenom. But never mind. That gust, yeah. I will see if I can dig out the video of landing at Shutdown in Warrior, because something somewhat similar happened at a masterful rescue place. And that was on a day that there were no gusts reported as well, so you can just come out of anywhere, which is why it's always worth having. You know, for instance, that VREF +5 always got a couple of extra knots, which translates into quite a lot of extra energy, and can often just be enough to save you. But even in gusty winds, in reality, the speed will fluctuate, and the real trick, which is difficult to do in the sim because you can't feel it, is to simply bracket the speed. So if you have a approach speed of whatever it is, let's say 65 knots, then add 5 or 10, maintain that, allow it as the gusts move, allow the speed to fluctuate. As long as it doesn't reduce below your minimum, you don't need to do anything, just fluctuate. If it goes below your minimum, then power on, go around for another go. That works quite well instead of chasing the speed in reality, especially crosswind circuit, especially if it's crosswind and or it's gusty. You know, just picking 70 or 75 if you've got a 65 knot approach and allowing that speed to modulate. It's absolutely fine. Unlike my parking, but hey. Maybe I'll tow the airplane to somewhere over here next time. Better pushback is quite good. What I might do here is jump back into jet. We shut the engines down. We're on stand at 58. Thanks very much, Dishy. Yeah, well, you know what? It's entertainment. It gives me a bit of fun, and like I say, there's not a lot I can teach, but if you pick up a few things like the custom waypoints and everything else, then I've done as much as I can. What we can do is, shall we go and check the oil? I think we've had 50. I know we were on stand, we didn't quite shut down. 5.8. I think we've had enough time, so in reality, let's come around to the equipment bay under here, which isn't modelled yet. Dent. There's a compartment you put your way. There's some catches there, I think. Slide out, where does it intron? Pretty sure it's in here. APU bleed air cabin pressure, it's not in there. There's the baggage hold, which is sure you have to get under the aeroplane. Definitely none of those. There's the 28 volt. So slide off. Maybe it's not quite modelled yet. I think this whole thing drops down. I'm grabbing hold of, press it. Anyway, that slides down. Reflections on low and it still looks good. to engine replenishment, which is in there. Wait at least 15 minutes after shutdown. I think we've done that. Yes, you can refill the oxygen. I don't think we need to, but we might as well do that. So this is just a sight gauge. This is a tank of fresh oil. It doesn't tell you the quantities. So what you have to do is take the measurement using the sight gauge, check the sight gauge, record oil level in the tank. So that would be about 3 litres. Verify all lights are unlit. They are. Switch power on. Verify on in 5 seconds. 5,000. System test. Push and hold. On this sim, you don't have to push and hold. Observe that they are lit and extinguish. That's the test. Push it. Both gone out. If they stayed illuminated, it would be full. So then send oil to the left, and all it's doing is pumping oil from the tank into the engine, so that you don't have to climb up on the wing and do it yourself. That's now full, and we've got 2.75. And then we simply do the same to the right. It also, once it registers full, stops. But it's quite clever. It's basic if you ask. And that looks like, I'm going to say 2.2. So the left engine had 0.3, 0.75. I know we should be doing it in quarters because I had 0.55 litres, then 2.75, 2.2 gives us 0.55. Right. That, ladies and gents, is quite simply how you the oil backup. So it seems a bit confusing, and then of course, yes, you do have to put it in the airplane book, so it'd be good to have to write that in. Geeky now, isn't it? It's a bit of a system, and then here, by doing that, you can oil tank. And I imagine that quantity into the weight and balance because of where the tank is. It's going to be a weight associated with it. But it means that when you're down route, you can replenish the airplane yourself, and then when you get back to base, you can top it up. I mean, of course, you can buy some down route, but often oil is one of those things that's usually expensive at an airfield because they know need it a lot. So whenever I do a NavX, I always take at least one with me, because not only can they rip you off, but I have heard stories of people wanting to top up the oil and being told by the airfield that only an engineer can do it, which arguably you could say do one, but if the shop won't sell it to you, they've got you really, haven't they? So here it is, and I think replenish this yourself. I have been wrong before though. Push it. I was pretty sure that you could do this. There's the connection. Oh yeah, you just do it that way, so you don't do it outside, and you can service the fire exit, and you can pop that the ADG away as well. So you can check it here, but you can't replenish it here. But that's where you would connect the airline oxygen line to to replenish the tanks, because of course not only do you check it a little bit every day, it does diffuse over time. That is very much that. I don't think we've left much room when it comes to the taxiway. We could have gone quite a bit further forward. Parking here is a little bit odd. Yeah, that's a bit close, isn't it? Got all this space in front of you, so better push back to drag it forward or find a better parking spot. Jump into do the shades, and I'll have to scour the internet for another performance limiting destination. I think you can see if we had no wind today, using up almost all of the available runway. Though we did touch down with a bit of extra speed, so the twitch and the flare up some of the available distance. But then that's why you use the 6 factor, because test pilots. There we go. There's the aeroplane parked up on the twin engine spots. They are green in reality, straight in reality. Did a little bit of conversion, a little bit of light work. I converted all these to lines. I added this building here. It's a restaurant. It doesn't really, restaurant terminal, really look like that in reality, but that was the best I could do. But the point is, there is a building there, and it's roughly the same sort of shape, so hopefully it kind of does it justice. Could we go to Aspen? Maybe. See how long it'll take. We went to Telluride, and that was fun. Anyway, chuck the sheep back to Jenny, especially the fuel one. Time to go home. At least to go to the bar after that stiff drink. So thanks very much for watching, guys. We might go back to the UK tomorrow, daytime trip, and I was thinking about doing some VFR. The weather's nice tomorrow in reality. Then we do that Newcastle down to either Benson. Yeah, I suppose Benson would probably work. Could do that, and then maybe back to the USA a bit later. Anyway, enough excitement for me for one day. So thanks for watching as always. Watch yourselves, take care. See you for the next adventure. Bye for now.